Sam Allardyce ruled himself out of contention to be Huddersfield boss. Sam Allardyce has effectively ruled himself out of the race for the Huddersfield job, admitting it is highly unlikely he will be the man to replace David Wagner. The German parted company with the Terriers on Monday night after a woeful start to the season that has left them 8 points clear of Premier League safety. Allardyce's reputation of saving teams with little hope of avoiding the drop propelled him into a leading candidate for the role alongside the likes of Carlos Carvalhal, David Moyes and Alan Pardew. However, in an interview with talkSPORT on Tuesday morning, Allardyce admitted he felt the club would be looking for someone to lead them back to the top flight from the Championship and admitted it would be unlikely he took a rebuilding job. He said, "As much as I like Huddersfield Town, it's a very difficult job indeed. For me it's got to be planning for what's going to look like relegation. Planning for next season and trying to get back up to the Premier League. For me, at this stage of my life, if they made an approach I would chat with them, but it's highly unlikely. I think that him, Wagner, being brave enough to say that he needed time away from football, shows just how much pressure he's felt this season and how much he's tried to get them out of trouble. They're desperate for results, but he's been able to have that conversation with the board. A new manager coming in, you would hope, would have a positive effect, a lift in results, but whether you can maintain that comes down to you as a manager. I've managed to pull teams out of the bottom end of the table, but at Sunderland I had Jermaine Defoe and at Crystal Palace I had Christian Benk. Their goals helped massively. I've watched a lot of their games and they've always been close, but they've ended up drawing instead of winning and losing instead of drawing. If you go and do a rescue job, then both you and the owners will decide if you want to continue the job you're doing and try and progress the club. I have that tag at the moment and that is how it is." An emotionally drained Wagner left Huddersfield after 4 years in what owner Dean Hoyle described as a truly joint decision. Insiders at the Yorkshire club have said that Wagner has felt the strain in recent weeks despite his effervescent appearances in front of the press. Under-23s coach Mark Hudson will take charge for Sunday's clash with Manchester City but is not expected to be offered the role full-time. Chief Executive Julian Winter is known to be a fan of Sheffield United manager Chris Wilder, but no approach has yet been made. While they acknowledge that the situation is grave, officials at the club retain an element of belief that they can stay in the Premier League and will be looking for a candidate who shares that view. Wagner, who worked with Jurgen Klopp at Borussia Dortmund, held detailed discussions with Huddersfield's board before the decision was reached.